Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me grab my slides and then we can get going here. Let's see. Oh, wait, that's wrong. That might cause a problem later on. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay. Great. Hello, Ingrid Soares, Mary H, Fancy Fancy, Brenda Gray. Let me see who was here first. Angela M, thank you very much for being here. Uh wow. What is that? Okay, resistor? Is that right? 3 months membership. Thank you very much for that. 3 months membership. Now that's how we get it started. Okay. There we go. Ring a little bell for you. All right. So let's see. What am I looking for? Got that. Wow. Has it been 10 years already? Now, I don't know if that's official. I don't think it was 2015. I think it was 2016, right? But it could have been 2015. Huh. I think it's 2016, right? Wait, now I'm starting to doubt myself. Did they meet? Uh, they met in 2016, right? Okay, now I'm starting to doubt myself. You know why? Because it's January. Yeah, it was 2016. That's what I thought. 2016. Yeah, I think it's 16. That sounds about right. And of course, we know how this all started, right? Because Harry saw a picture of Meghan, and as he says, that stopped the conveyor belt, right? Let me see if I can grab that photo. That's the one thing that I did not grab before I started was that photo, but I got it now. I got it now. There it is, the one on the left side. He was going through somebody's Instagram, was it? And he saw that photo. And of course, who's that? He saw the photo, didn't know who it was, but he saw the photo and something just spoke to him right then and there. There was I oh oh no. Oh, people have got to stop doing this. They keep putting these AI images online. But yeah, that's the one. That's the one. It was that picture right there. 2016. So 10 years already. 10 years. All right. Let me go back over here and take a look there. Most powerful woman. That's our Duchess. All right. Meghan, when 2026 feels just like 2016, uh, you had to be there. God, is that small? Yeah, you had to be there when 20 26 feels like 2016. Okay. Wow. So impressive. So impressive. 10 years already. What was I doing 10 years ago? What was any of us doing 10 years ago? Do y'all remember? Well, let me see. I know where I was working. Yeah, and it was 27. Okay, yeah. 2016. I have no clue. I have no clue. But wow, then that means oh, sorry. I was just thinking about something. Let me go to the next photo. And of course, People magazine wrote an article. Uh, they're still not ready to say Meghan Sussex, but Meghan Sussex shares unseen 2016 throwback with Prince Harry and a surprise video taken by Princess Lilibet. Yes, our Princess Lilibet is a filmmaker. I think the whole family is good with a camera at this point. I wonder if she's going to get a Leica camera. So, according to People, and I hesitate to call them people, but according to People, the magazine, not the people, they say that Meghan is celebrating 2026 by sharing a throwback photo of herself and Prince Harry from 2016, as well as a brand new video taken by their 4-year-old daughter. So the Duchess of Sussex shared her own take on a new social media trend in which users are sharing photos of themselves from 2016 to celebrate a decade passing. Okay, so maybe this is not a anniversary date. It's just this was me 2016, this is me 2026. You know why I'm having trouble, right? Because I'm just like, all right, this has to be later on in the year. So maybe it's 9 years and some change. But just to, we don't have to be so technical. We'll just say 10 years ago. That's why I did not say anniversary of anything. I just 10 years. Leave it at 10 years. Because I don't know. We'll never know when they first actually spent time together, right? We'll never know that unless they decide to tell us. But we know it was 2016. In a black and white video from the present day, Meghan and Harry are seen dancing in a field. Dressed casually, the couple smiles and they twirl around together. Meghan revealed in the caption that the clip was filmed by Princess Lilibet. Princess Lilibet. Okay, so let me go ahead and share that with you. I got that dance for you. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yes, I want to dance with somebody to love me. Here goes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, I don't want to be critical of Prince Harry, but he just as po back there as he want to be. I mean, his behind just as po as a chicken wing. Ain't got no booty. Just no butt. Nothing. Nothing. Just pants just puckered and empty. All that good healthy eating. Now, he was a little heavier before he met Meghan, but now he's a flexitarian, occasionally eating vegetarian meals and such, and some good home cooking and everything. But yeah, just as po as a chicken wing back there. But that's okay. Anyway, that's their dance video, courtesy of Princess Lilibet. Very sweet. See what I mean? Just po. Uh well, and he goes to the gym, so he works out. Yeah, they don't need a crisis manager. They do not need a crisis manager at all. Uh, let's see. Greetings, moderators, and all here assembled. Hope all is well. Baron, have you seen the OK magazine spread? I don't know. I don't think so. Did it come out today? Why? What did I miss? OK magazine. No, it doesn't ring a bell. Um, but please do tell. I must have missed something, huh? Yeah, I don't know when was the last time I've seen an OK magazine. Uh, hey, Legs, fancy. Okay, now at this point, I'm taking a peek to see if anything jumps out at me with OK. But yeah, I don't see anything so far. I see Princess Kate kicks off 2026 under renewed strain as royal feud grows fiercer than ever. I like the sound of that one. Huh. Can she do anything right? Meghan now slams simply for going makeup free? Yeah, other than that, nothing jumps out at me. But please do tell when you get a chance to. Yeah, they're usually kind of trashy, so I don't ever see anything of OK Magazine. It's like not really on my radar. Oh yes, certainly. I was going to get to that one, Legs. I'm definitely going to get to that one. Yeah, see, this is the OK Magazine I don't like. Prince Harry still misses his old royal life 6 years after they're using that M word, the misogynistic M word, despite being so happy with Meghan in Montecito. Darn right he's happy with Meghan in Montecito. I mean, that is just some lazy journalism there, you know? That is some lazy journalism. Um, the life that Harry had in the UK, as far as serving that family, one of the reasons why he could never go back, even if he wanted to, is because Queen Elizabeth is dead. And as long as Queen Elizabeth is dead, then there's not much of a chance of him ever going back to the life that he had. Plus, you know, they say you can never really go back. But um, things were going to change when Charles took the throne, and things are going to change again when William takes the throne. So, if you think about it, Harry would have been subject to the whims of his father, which he's already suffered enough from that. And then he would be subject to even worse punishment from his brother. So there really is no going back. And nothing would have stayed the same um, as Queen Elizabeth even got closer to death. It Charles took control of things, and it was um, it was a road to nowhere at that point. It really was. The Queen was so frail at some point that she was not even in control of her household any longer. So, um, yeah, what can you do? Hazel Jones, thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's continue then. Oh, wait, was I through with that article? I think so. The second slide of the post features a shot of the royal couple from 2016, seemingly taken during the trip to Botswana, the year their third ever date. Okay. And when 2026 feels like just like 2016, you had to be there. She captioned the past, given the video's credit to her daughter. Um, Harry said British media needs him to be miserable. In The Guardian, really? Thank you very much for the super chat, Legs. And that's a new article, huh? Or is that from an old article? The British media needs him to be miserable. Well, it sells, doesn't it? If they could get any more pictures of Harry, you know, some more up to date photos with him making some of the faces that he made in the old photos, that would really serve them well. Harry is not one to pretend, so there are some images of him, you know, pulling a face here and pulling a face there that they have been cashing in on for a long time. But some of those photos are 8 years old, 9 years old. They have these old photos of Harry gritting his teeth at the press or whatever. And they are, every time they need to tell a story, they go through get a handful of photos to build a case against them. And I'm just like, at least get some new photos. But nope, they use the same. They rotate about maybe 10 photos in and out, depending on the article. I mean, there really ought to be a cutoff to how far back they want to use photos to tell the story. Huh, okay. All right. All right. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at some of y'all's comments here. Sorry for the silence. Okay. Thank you again, Lex. So there's the Botswana image. They are standing in the water. Um, I believe that's that vast wetland, the one that they're trying to protect from the oil companies or something like that. I think that's the one. Oh, that place covers like several countries, doesn't it? And it's home to so much wildlife. Okay, yeah, that was the end of that article anyway. So there's Botswana. There again is the dance. I am guessing that is their stately palatial home. You know, I couldn't say that word. Akavanko Delta. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of, but I have to see it to say it. I really do have to see it to say it. Let me see. Akavanko. Yeah, you know what? I have a couple of pictures from there, but they're not handy, so I can't really share them right now. But yeah, it's a beautiful place, especially when the sun is like just rising or just setting and all the light is so gold and everything. That is a beautiful time there. Miss Z says, I get how you felt in 2016, Baron, with all that's going on in the world. It's nice to escape to Harry and Meghan world. Uh, First of all, cheers for the super chat. This is what has drawn me to the Sussexes. If you recall, we had a president elect in January of 2017, having somehow snatched the 2016 election. And of course, January of 2017, we were waiting, for that inauguration day to come up. And so, as I recall, I just stopped watching any of the news. I needed an escape. And I just wanted a little fairy tale, um, lots of beautiful pictures, a very attractive couple that everybody loves. I'm like, this is perfect. We got Harry and Meghan. It's like that rom com that you never get tired of. And so that is how I gravitated to the Sussexes. Is I needed an escape, and that's why I was so upset when I saw the way the tabloids were attacking Meghan, and you know everything was, oh, this is wrong and that's wrong. The protocol, the car door, the nail varnish, blah 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 blah. And so I got very very sad because I just want some beautiful pictures. I want to see a woman of African descent being celebrated around the world, with this new platform, the Commonwealth, and all that kind of stuff. I just thought, oh wow, that's so cool. They're going to do this. They're going to do that, and then all of a sudden, it seemed like it was just taken away from me, and it just went from bad to worse. And so around that time, that's when I started, you know, I want to say by ooh, I want to say by 2019, like in late 2018, early 2019, that's when I realized there was a community of people pushing back, right? And then I discovered Tina and Michelle, and then all of a sudden, I heard the call for other people to help push back, and I was like, "Well, I think I'll try to make a YouTube channel." Now, initially, I wanted to do a travel channel, but this was just supposed to be my way of honing my skills as a content creator. But day by day, it seemed like the urgency was stronger and stronger to do something. So then that's how I started the Royal Sussex channel, which originally this channel had such a long name. I kind of dozed off in the middle of it. It was Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. No, no, no. It was Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Success. That's what I called it. That was the name that I used in 2020. And then for like, I did 5 videos and then I didn't do anything for a year because with everything going on with the White House, I just couldn't concentrate. It was like every day from bad to worse, all types of conventions and protocols and laws. Everything was just upside down and it still is. So I was just like, I can't concentrate on anything right now. So then after a year, I came back to it and I said, well, in order to get this thing started, I'm just going to make a promise to myself to make a video every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Well, that was how many years ago? 2021 to now. And I think out of all that time, the only time I missed any time um, with the channel was when I was in the hospital. So, um, yeah, it's been onward and upward ever since. Still keeping that same promise as much as possible. But it definitely gave me something that I needed to avoid focusing on what's happening with this country. And it even gives me a platform to speak about it if I choose to. So, and on occasion we do. But yeah, that is that is how that started. I needed an escape. Anyway, thank you, Ms. Z, for uh, bringing up that particular thing because I'm pretty sure we have a lot in common. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in this community may have gravitated toward the Sussexes to avoid the Orange Menace, among other things. So, oh, but this country, I don't know. It's I keep thinking better times are coming. You know, I I get frustrated about everything that's happening with the US because okay, the main thing, if I had anything that I could say was the number one thing about the whole mess that we're in. Once you let the genie out of the bottle, it's almost impossible to get it back in. Once you become a pickle, you can never be a cucumber again. So every time someone in Washington or someone else affiliated with Washington, every time you go against the traditions that govern this country, it means that a precedence has been set and that the next person will have a good excuse to do that same thing. It's it's um it's opening a door that should not have been open, should have remained shut, and that bothers me because um, the polite society that we once knew is all but gone at this point. When you see the way some people in society challenge other people based on their appearance or um, um, their ethnicity, um, their language, whatever it is. When you see people like challenging another person's right to be here, and it was never supposed to be like that. I mean, there is no official language for the United States. We don't have an official religion. We don't have an official language. Quiet as it's kept, we do not have an official language. So they hear an accent and they're ready to challenge a person because of their accent. So what a mess we're in. But I do hope that after the midterm elections that things will begin to shift. Not in the next 3 years, but right after the midterm elections. Let's hope that things begin to shift. And then that shift can be completed by 2028. Maybe we can go back to something seemingly more normal by 2028. Hey, so brother, thank you so much for being here. There's Lilybet right there with her red hair. That is one of the photos that they shared from People magazine. And of course, the one on the right side, that is the image of Harry and Meghan and Prince Archie and Princess Lilybet. That is their Christmas photo. Very sweet. That's that little bridge that they have on their property, I believe. Oh my goodness. Um, I would love to see, you know, even though that would be impossible, and I hope nobody ever, um, you know, takes any pictures or anything like that without permission. But still, I am very curious. I mean, we kind of know what the house looks like from the real estate photos and everything, but oh my goodness, it would be amazing to like be in that space. But um, I'm still very curious about what they've done to the place, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't look much different from the real estate images. But that house was just meant to be. That house was meant to be. They got it at half the asking price, the original asking price, and it's the perfect location right there in a gated community. They got neighbors that look out for them, and it's just perfect. It is absolutely perfect. When Meghan said, "Let's go to California. We can build a life there." She knew what she was talking about. I'm pretty sure Harry would have been up for anything. I'm actually very sure that they were likely thinking about Canada, but with the once they took the security away, I'm pretty sure it was like, you know what? Let's go to California. Let's go to the Golden State. And here's a select few photos of the embrace, that embrace from behind. And Meghan just melting into his arms. With everything that they've been through, they deserve to be that happy. Uh-oh. And of course, the gumbo kiss. Yes, the gumbo kiss. And of course, the date night, or, well, it was a date day or night, whatever it was. Um, that is one of those rom-com photos. It kind of reminds me of the movie About Last Night, or just about any movie that's a rom-com date movie. They always seem to end up at a baseball game. Yeah, it does kind of give you Enchanted Forest, doesn't it? And I'm glad they have all that space and everything to be a family, to run around and everything. I'm glad they have that. Also, I think that the Paps and everything have definitely been kept at bay. They do have their neighborhood watch and whatever is going on for that community. It seems to have been very effective. I'm glad for that. And then, of course, the epic photo in the rain. The one on the left, of course, is from the Oceania tour. And the one on the right, well, that was from that last weekend, or that last week, in March of 2020. And then it was off to Canada. And then from Canada, it was off to California. California, a state with an economy so big. The economy of California is so big. I believe they say it would be the fourth largest country. And I have to tell you, I'm very proud of the state of Illinois. If Illinois was a country, it would be the world's 20th largest economy, ahead of Switzerland and the Netherlands and a few other places. Chicago is Illinois is the world's 20th largest economy. So that's pretty impressive. Well, the big three is New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. And I forget who's number four, but maybe Houston. I don't know. No, I don't think you. Yeah, maybe. Or is it San Francisco? Anyway, I mean not cities. I think it's the state of Texas, maybe, or it might be Florida. It might be Florida, and of course, American Sussex. That of course is inspired by that painting, American Gothic. Matter of fact, that is the American Gothic house in the background there. That house is still standing. What was the painter's name? Was it James? No, it's not James Wood. Edward Wood, something Wood. Anyway, that painting is at the Art Institute of Chicago. No, they're not having a great 2026, are they? They are not having a great 2026. They are. I'd love the way they went quiet when they realized how much product had been sold. I love the way they went radio silent. That just took their voices away. Oh, it's Houston is the fourth largest economy. Ah, thank you. Yeah, so that is the fourth largest economy in these United States. And of course, I love this photo from there. This kind of reminds me of like a prom photo. Um, that was from that fundraiser, the Heart Mom fundraiser for named for her son Georgie. All right. And then, of course, there's this. We love making these a project we'll remember. That, of course, is the, I think it's the SBRI studio. That's the people that made those vegan leather bookmarks. So some people have actually received their bookmarks already. Look at that. If you've ordered a bookmark, I believe, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to guess it's the box on the left side. Well, actually, no, what am I saying? It's the same picture. It's just one is closer. But yeah, if you look at the picture on the left side, I think that is what you should, well, what we should expect because I ordered one also. But yeah, so that is what it looks like. Now, what a beautiful way to package a bookmark. I am going to have a problem soon because any package I receive from as ever is never leaving this house. Ever. You aren't. You aren't ever going to leave this house. You aren't ever going to sell it either. You aren't. Remember that word, yarnt, from Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Betty Davis invented a word, yarnt. You aren't ever going to sell this house. You aren't ever going to leave it either. Yarnt. That's a word she invented. It means you aren't, are not, aren't, yarnt. Yarnt. You aren't ever going to sell this house. You aren't ever going to leave it either. You aren't. So Meghan effect significantly boosts sales for various brands, with four notable examples, including Strathberry, a Scottish handbag maker, whose sales surged after she carried their tote Kaimi, a London-based lab-grown diamond jeweler that saw massive revenue growth. Outland Denim, an Australian jean brand that hired more staff due to the demand. And Cesta Collective, a handbag company that sold out items and later gained her investment. And later gained her investment. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm like, is that a typo? No, that's right. That's the correct way. All right. So there you go. That is a real effect. Um, by the way, I found one more photo from Harry's trip to the first responders, the Santa Barbara Fire Department. As you can see on the left side, that is the photo I just found. I mean, it's not much different from the others, but when I saw there was another one, I'm just like, well, I'm going to share it anyway. And then on the right, that's the one that you saw already. Harry standing there chatting with them about this thermal detection drone that they have. That device right there, I think it's a drone. It can detect a heat signature. So if there's someone in need of rescue, there is a thermal camera that could pick up your body heat so that they can locate you even in like really thick brush or whatever, or if, whatever the case may be. That is some really good tech, and it's gonna probably be very helpful someday. So there you go. And then these are the others that you've seen already. Now, time to do a little dragging. Royal favorite L.K. Bennett. Oh my God, not again. Faces administration despite years of Kate Middleton's exposure. Well, if it isn't the consequences of insisting that a royal family member wear your clothes. Kate has done it again. Another week, another royal favorite wobbling on the edge. L.K. Bennett, long famed as a staple of Kate Middleton's wardrobe, has filed a notice of intention to appoint administrators. They're going broke. The move sparked the usual headline about elegance, influence, and royal pull. There is an awkward footnote that the coverage prefers to skip. Kate Middleton and her family are no strangers to administration. Party pieces. Um, they are no strangers to administration themselves. Her parents' business party pieces collapsed into administration after years of decline. The numbers at the LK Bennett tells the same colder story. Visibly did not save the business. I'm sorry, visibility did not save the business, and history suggests it rarely does. Now, interestingly enough, while the party pieces were going into its downward spiral, um, the I guess the popularity of Kate Middleton could not save her parents' business. As a matter of fact, party pieces were trying to strike a deal with, oh gosh, I forget which shop it was. Was it Dollar Tree or something? Anyway, they were trying to get a foothold in the US. They had all of this branding that they would put inside of the store. There was a life-size cutout of Carol Middleton. Anything that they thought would help draw business, but it just didn't work. Party pieces collapsed under its own weight. No more party pieces. But you know what? It was a good business back in the 80s. And in the early 90s, it was already starting to show signs of, you know, but with Kate Middleton and, William and all that. By the year 2000, let's see, how long were they dating? Was it 2001 to 2011 when they got married? Yeah. So anyway, um, it hung in there, but it was the best kept secret was that party pieces had really reached a point of no return. There has been rumors that William has had to reach into his pockets to help the Middletons. I don't know how true that is, but I'm just saying that's a rumor. Let me see. Let me see here. The British brands will soon ask Kate Middleton to stop wearing their clothes. Yeah, it is. There'll be a cease and desist notice. Please stop. Please stop. I got the kids to put in school. Please stop. Let's see. LK Bennett confirmed on January 14th that it had filed notice of intention to appoint administrators at the High Court. The filing grants a brief legal pause that shields the company from creditors' action while advisors assess options. It marked the second such notice in weeks. Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, there you go. Kate Middleton inspired wool coat gets X to half price in Karen Millen sale. Do tell, do tell. Oh, I know. That must be that brown coat. I can't see the whole photo, but I wonder if it's that ugly brown coat she wore that time. Oh, that coat is a disaster. Kate inspired wool coat was quietly slashed to half price by Karen Millen. The markdown landed in the middle of winter when coats should sell at full margin. Retailers do not discount hero products during the peak season unless demand has failed to materialize. And I think that means demand had failed to materialize. This pattern repeats elsewhere. Tabitha Design Limited, whose brightly colored dresses have been worn by Kate, has collapsed under debt exceeding £700,000. So much for the Kate effect. Anyway, it goes on and on. The contrast with Meghan Sussex is striking. Despite polling at the bottom of the same surveys, Meghan's fashion impact remains immediate and measurable. When she wears a product, it sells out. When she collaborates, the stock disappears. Her recent As Ever bookmark partnership with UK female-owned brand Sabri sold out within minutes. Her recent chocolate collaboration with Compartes under the same As Ever label went live, and all 3 bars sold out almost instantly. I was able to get the white chocolate bar, but the other 2 were already gone. It was my goal to get all 3. I was so upset. I was a few minutes late to the party, though. Lex says, Queen song, another one. Another one bites the dust. Boom, 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 boom. Another one bites the dust. And another one's gone. And another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, she's going to get you too. Another one bites the dust. Thank you, Legs. Oh, Claudia Bolin. You know what? I saw her today. Is that what she was talking about? I saw her today, which is odd because I think she's been away for a while. I believe she said she was struggling with her mental health a while back. And yes, you know what? I looked at this and I saw her holding up the magazine, and I just could not make the connection in my head. Okay, I got it now. I just watched Claudia Bolin and I totally forgot about it. But yeah, she was holding up a copy of the OK magazine. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, thank you for that because I forgot about it. I think I had taken a nap or something. Um, yeah, and then after that, when I woke up, I forgot I was even watching it. But thank you. I'm going to go back and check it out again just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Very nice of you. Okay, so you guys, this is the dreaded poll. I just want to put this into context before we go over it. It does not feel good to see our faves being pushed further and further down, especially with the likes of that family. Um, there are certain aggravating factors, like, for instance, you ask someone to rate family members versus other family members, right? To choose one family member over another. The thing is, this is a poll that is definitely um, has been affected by this awful, awful hate campaign. And it is awful. It is awful. And honestly, oh, you know what? That's the wrong one. That is the wrong one. Hold on a second. This one, okay. Sorry about that. Let me make sure I can find the other one that I need. Uh, well, Jumpin' Jack Flash. I don't think I put the other one up. Let me grab it. All of that, and I don't even think I put the right poll up. This is an old one. Oh man, how could I do that? How in the world did I do that? Okay, let me grab the correct one, and then we'll talk our way through it. But it's the YouGov poll. Okay, it's the YouGov poll, and they're asking people to rate the royals. Well, Harry and Meghan, as they love to point out, are no longer working royals. So when you ask people, right there, I believe that handicaps them in the poll that they're not considered to be a working royal. As a matter of fact, they have convinced some people that they're deserters or that they have somehow abused the Queen Elizabeth, of course, that they hastened the death of what's that old bigot's name? Um, Prince Philip. Okay, so take a look here. William is the number one royal with a 77% approval rating. Catherine, 74%. Princess Anne, 70. Charles, 60. Princess Edwina, 51. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, 50% positive. Godzilla, 42. Beatrice and Eugenie, 37, 36. Harry, 31. Meghan, 19. And then, of course, there's Andrew, the sick old man, with a 6% approval rating. Now, the royal family in general has a positive rating of 59%, which is not great, but they are above water again. The institution of the monarchy in general, 57%. Now, this is the royal family favorability rating as of January 2026. Thinking about the royal family for each of the following, please say whether you have a positive or negative opinion of them, and a percentage. Now, this poll is a UK poll. This is a UK poll. This is not a global thing. This is just for the UK. And yes, I do believe that there's a likely false outcome here when you consider that Camilla used to have a nephew that works there, and pretty much the royal family has a great deal of influence on the outcome of things. So, oh yes, Legs, it's an emotional support poll after Kate flopped in Williams' separation accusations. Thank you, Legs, for the super chat. Now, let me go back to the one that I had. But yeah, all of that is a factor. And of course, the negative rating, you can see that is, I mean, there's just no way, even if we take Meghan out of the whole thing, Harry, a 31% approval rating, 31%. I just don't believe that. I just do not believe that. Even on his worst day, 31%, especially after the recent visit that Harry had to the UK. 31%, that is unbelievable. I don't know how they did it or how they managed it, but 31%, I do not accept that. I do not accept a 31% approval rating for Prince Harry. And that is why I have this poll. So this is Americans are most likely to have a favorable view of Princess Diana and Queen Elizabeth II, it says, right? Oh, you know what? Okay, let me do this. Oh, okay, something is out of place. No, I guess this is okay. So at the time that this poll was generated, that was 20. Oh, I think this was 2018. I believe this was 2018. Obviously, the Queen is still alive. No, the Queen is. Oh no, so this has no. It's not 2018. I'm sorry. This is from. Oh my God, when did I find this one? Does it say? Okay, the Queen, the late Queen. Okay, so we know it's after. I believe it's from 2024. Yeah, I believe this one is from 2024. So in the United States, Diana, who has been deceased since 97, still has a favorability rating of 76%. Queen Elizabeth, 67%, also deceased. And then William, 58, Harry, 53. Okay, Harry, 53. Kitty, 52. Princess Anne, 47. Meghan, 46. Charles, 42. And Edward, 37. Sophie, nobody even know who she is, so she ain't even on here. Camilla, 30%. And Andrew, 28%. This is for the U.S., and I believe it is from 2024. Yeah, I think when I posted it, I clipped off the part with the actual date on it. So yeah, there you have it. Now, I want to go here. Okay, this is out of place. You know what? I did something and I confused a few of the things. This should have been with Kate's but I slipped something in between. But there you go. These are some of the other stories that Feminagra had about Kate Middleton's destroying the fashion industry in the United Kingdom, one fashion brand after the other, one designer after the other, one couturier after another. So, okay, we are looking at polls. Americans, oh, it was from 2024. That's it. The one I showed you, that was 2024. This is the other part of it right here. And somehow I managed to put all that other stuff in between. So that is what they thought of Harry, Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana, November of 2024. Says here, a new YouGov poll, which it was new back in 2024, on the British royal family asked Americans for their views of the royal family members, both living and dead, including their thoughts on the move to the U.S. of Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and the cancer diagnosis of Catherine. So when they did this, this was the same year that Kate had been missing, and she was back and everything by November. So it says here most Americans are most likely to hold a very or somewhat favorable view of Diana, Princess of Wales, 76%, the highest. Isn't that something? I always tell people Americans love Princess Diana, who died in 1997. Majorities also have favorable opinions of Queen Elizabeth, who died in 2022. And then, of course, Prince William, 58, around half of the favorable views for Prince Harry. Catherine, 52, Anne, 47, and only King Charles, only 42%, that is, view favorably for King Charles III. Royals included in the poll whom Americans are least likely to view favorably are Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, and Camilla, the Queen Consort. So as of November 2024, they were rating Camilla right along with Andrew. Interesting, huh? Okay, I got something else here. Now, this is a Ipsos poll, right? This is an Ipsos poll. I believe that's an American poll. And the Ipsos poll, which was created in April of 2018, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I've said so many times, how could Harry go from the most popular royal, right? How could he go from the most popular to where he is today? It makes you wonder the accuracy of the YouGov poll. How is that possible? I mean, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Harry are tied. However, within the United Kingdom, you can see Harry has 42%. Around the world, both Harry and the Queen are tied. But within the UK, Harry has 42%. The Queen has 23. And then, of course, William 18. No, that's no. That's Kate. William, let's see, has 17. George, Charlotte, Louis. I don't feel like counting them. And I guess this is out of 100, is it? So I guess this is how much they measure out of 100. Yeah, so that's why those numbers are so low. It's not the percentage of how much you like them, is the numbers they got out of X amount of people. I believe it was 1,000 people polled. So there you go. But yeah, Harry was super popular. I just don't know how in the world it could possibly be 31%. Now, this one right here. What is the date? When was this poll taken? Oh, yeah. By October, this is over a period of time. By March of 2023, they were underwater, right? March of 2024, still underwater with 48%. And then if you go to October 2025, which is the most recent, the royal family's favorability is just 50%. Just 50%. That's October of 2025. And yet, if you look at this one, the YouGov poll, they want you to believe that the royal family in general is 59% approval. That's YouGov, 59 and 57 for the the monarchy as a whole. And then if you go over here to this one, you can see that the favorability is only at 50%. So looks like YouGov had their thumb on the scale. And then their unfavorables, well, the unfavorables are low. And then in between is people who just don't know or don't care. So they're just barely half the people polled approve of the monarchy as of October 2025. So if anybody wants to believe that all of a sudden they're that much more popular, fine. But I just decided to look at some other polls. Now, Lex says a question should be, why are so many polls done on that family suspiciously timed? It's like, believe the poll, not the viewership data. Thank you for that. And you got a great point there about the polls, because there's a campaign going on right now, and that is Operation Elevate Kate. It is Operation Elevate Kate. It started recently with the Rise Queen Kate. And then, of course, somebody in Clarence House, I believe, decided to take her down a peg or two, right? And, of course, Amanda Playtell said the things that she said. But now there's more pushback from Kensington Palace to try and elevate her again. So I think that there's one part of the household, or the Clarence house, is trying to tear down both Will and Kate. And I think the crisis manager, among other people at Kensington Palace, are trying to lift them back up again. So there's a war going on in the House of Windsor. Father versus son, stepmother-in-law versus stepdaughter-in-law. Wicked fight. A question should be, why are so many? Oh, I'm sorry, I did that already. Okay. Hey, Connie Balmer. And then, of course, let me see. The January poll looks like looks at the order of the individual. For example, Beatrice just beats the younger sister. Hierarchy. What are convenient results, do you think? I think somebody got their thumb on the scale. That's what I think. Let me see. Elevate Kate is by Kitty. Her mother only. I don't think her mother has the enough resources to do that. This has got to be coming from within Kensington Palace. Although I'm pretty sure her mother has made some kind of deals with the press, though. That is for certain. Her mother is over time has had to make some kind of deals with the press. But I think for the most part that her mother is pretty much out of the loop. So, because Harry is on his way, you got Kate going out doing some work. You got William out doing some work. William is actually, I believe he's pruning apple trees or something. Do you ever wonder if King Charles looks through photos of his heirs' events and chuckle to himself? Say what you will about Charles, but he was probably the most consequential Prince of Wales in Britain's history. Um, he loved meeting with farmers and talking to plants and sheep in equal measure. He was authentically interested in agriculture, farming, livestock, all of it. He didn't have to do skits to get attention either. Well, Prince William visited a farm in Herefordshire. Let me try that again. Herefordshire on Thursday, and he looked as awkward as possible. The biggest problem is that William's events are so rare, he always looks uncomfortable as he tries to remember what poses he's supposed to hit for his in-house photographer. Now, it is said that William was let me go to this one. There's the info right there. The Prince of Wales 43 joined in with pruning apple trees, building a fence, and feeding the sheep on a farm in Herefordshire, Western England. He made the top, I'm sorry, he made, one more time. He made the stop as patron of the We Are Farming Minds, which works to support farmers' mental health. And then Celibici says, I wonder how all these farmers feel about William showing up for 40 minutes, posing for lumberjack photos, and then leaving. Stolen lumberjack valor. And that's all it was. It was a photo op. It was a photo op. When William and Kate went to that food bank that day, they stayed for about 50 minutes. They brought, combined, there were 8 cameras, photographers and videographers that followed them to this food bank. Will and Kate emerged from the car, not really, well, at least Kate was not really dressed to work. William, wore some simple clothes, little sweater, and I think he had an overcoat and, had the whole button down shirt with the sweater thing going on. In other words, he was trying to look like Harry. Kate wore stilettos. And they began to volunteer. And the lady was trying to show Kate something. And Kate was like, well, I'm just really here to observe today. In other words, don't try to teach me anything. And then there was a great article that someone had written calling it poverty tourism, I believe is what they said. I believe they referred to it as poverty tourism. It was a really disgusting display they put on, but they were only there for about 50 minutes. And when they got the video they needed, when they got the photos they needed, they abruptly left. They were not there to volunteer for the day. They were not there to volunteer for the afternoon. It was a quick photo op and we're out, which is exactly what happened here. Is that he went and did all of those things they mentioned in about 40 minutes and then he was gone. Just like that, he vanished. And didn't I just hear somewhere they said that a lot of the charities, they only want them as patrons. They do not expect or do not want them to show up because it costs the charity a fortune to have a luncheon or to have a dinner or something like that with the actual royals, that they can save money and have more money for the charity if they just use the name without them actually showing up, because studies have shown that the royals do not actually change the patterns of donations with their presence. They just don't. The people that are going to give, we're going to do it anyway. But the royals do not change anything unless your name is Harry or Meghan. No difference. And right here, let's see, Prince William and Kate are going to Scotland next week to avoid Prince Harry. So that's their escape plan. I don't know what Charles is doing. I wouldn't be surprised if Charles did not go north to Balmoral again, but Harry should have Greater London to himself. I don't think any of those people want to be around. I like that red suit that Kate was wearing when it was white and Meghan actually wore it first. I really do like it. But first of all, it cannot be red and it should not be on Kate Middleton. Almost immediately after this photo was taken, then Kate and whoever was dressing her at the time went out and found a very similar suit. But of course, they didn't want to go too far with the color and get a white one. So instead, they got a red one just to try to be a little different. But essentially, it is the same suit. Are we okay? Huh? Are we okay? Let me see. I'm going to put my finger up and see if she can follow my finger. Okay. Do not stop looking at my finger. Are you okay? I'm just asking for a friend. Are you okay? All right. I'm trying to get her to follow my finger with her eyes. So far, it's not working. I don't know why. So they want Harry to visit his family, but they run away when he's was around. Yet they want him, not Meghan, to bring his kids. They are not family evil. Yes, they are not. They're not a family. You can never think of them as a traditional family. They are the firm. It's like a protection racket. It really is like a protection racket. Oh, by the way, thank you for the super chat, Lex. A few of the squatties had a question. Uh, the hell is wrong with her? And someone else seems to think that, yeah, you can see what they think right there. I will admit, it looks a bit odd. It looks a bit odd. Huh. Yeah. Something is just a little off there, I think. Something is a little bit off. I'm 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 getting I'm getting a vibration. I feel Stepford wife. I feel like we're in the town of Stepford. Now, the shocking truth, the shocking truth. Um, I did not get a chance to actually look at the article, but I saw this and I did grab that. Uh, let's see, what does it say? Kate's secret surgery, the shocking truth, and palace cover up, rush to emergency room. Was angry William to blame? Divorce rumors explode again. Now, there's a lot going on there. There is a whole lot going on there, and I want to know what it is. What the what? And did I hear Angela Latrine say that she donated a kidney? That Kate donated a kidney? Did I see that somewhere? Or is my mind playing tricks on me? Well, whatever it is or is not, someone finally has said what everybody else has been thinking, and that is that something shocking happened by December the 28th, 2023. Oh, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find that article. And you know, they were the same magazine that said that Kate was secretly living with her mom. Remember that? Oh, I think I found it. I think I found it. Oh, what's that? Oh, because they were in the hospital at the same time. Oh. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little far-fetched. Okay, I'm going to share the article with you here. Um okay, it said, uh-oh. Is that the right one? No, that's not it. That's the wrong article. Oh, fudge. How can I find it? Well, I found no, but this one is not the right article. No, it's not it. Well, maybe they don't have it where you can actually, you know what I mean? Let me try one more time. Oh, you know what? Someone, no. Oh no. Is that it? Oh, I found it. I found it. Oh, let me grab this before it disappears. Someone actually did a screenshot. Did a screenshot of it. Thank you, someone. And it is for this actual issue. Let me see if I can share that with you. First of all, I have to save it. Make sure that I don't lose track of it. Ah, I am loving it. It says royal cover up. Okay, I got to make this big. It's very small print. Video of Catherine, Princess of Wales, speaking with well-wishers outside church on Christmas morning in Sandringham went viral as viewers were charmed by the sweet exchange. The woman told Kate she'd just spoken with Prince George, gushing Diana's granny would be ever so proud of you. I said to William, your husband, George is going to be 6'4". A smiling Kate replied, oh, I know. Ooh, I know. Ooh. I swear he's catching up to everybody. That's what Kate said. The heartwarming chat wasn't the only thing viewers noticed, because the camera caught an angle of direct sunlight hitting the side of Kate's face. A deep scar near the princess' left eye was clearly visible, prompting online speculation about its cause. Now, I remind you, this is the Star Magazine saying this, not me. While the palace previously addressed a scar above Kate's left ear related to a childhood what is that a childhood operation, a spokesperson confirmed in 2011 after the media inquired. It has not commented on this newly observed mark. Now, royal biographer Robert Jobson later wrote in his 2025 book, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, that Kate had surgery as a teenager to remove a lump on the left side of her head. To remove a lump on the left side of her head, just under her hairline. In another era, before Kate disappeared from public view for months 2 years ago, to quietly undergo cancer treatment, fueling harmful speculations about her mysterious absence from the spotlight. Few might have questioned the new scar, but because the royal family has been so secretive about her health, neither Kate nor father-in-law King Charles III have ever shared what kind of cancer each was diagnosed with in early 2024. Online conspiracy theories have flourished, ranging from the benign to the extreme, including speculation Kate collapsed and cut her face, to unfounded claims of IPV, or intimate partner violence. Ooh, 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 ooh. ITV. I never heard it put that way. Intimate partner violence. Despite no evidence to support claims, Prince William, 43, has never harmed his wife of nearly 15 years. A source close to William and Kate calls this online chatter about them entirely false. Silence fuels suspicion. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Silence fuels suspicion. A faction of the royal watchers have frequently returned to unanswered questions, including a mysterious December 28th, 2023 social media video posted 2.5 weeks before Kate underwent what Kensington Palace described as planned abdominal surgery, later revealed to have preceded, that is, her cancer diagnosis. The clip, recorded at 6:30 that night, purported to show an emergency convoy traveling more than 100 miles from Sandringham. Wow. 100 miles from Sandringham, near William and Kate's country home, Anmer Hall, toward London's King Edward VII Hospital, which has long been the discreet private facility of choice for British royal family. Senior members of the royal family travel this way, as does the Prime Minister, and that's about it. I repeat, senior members of the royal family travel this way, as does the Prime Minister, and that's about it. The original poster claimed the palace has never addressed the video or related speculation, which another commentator acknowledged has taken on a life of its own. That silence, a source tells Star, reflects the monarchy's long-standing approach. The truth is, royals guard the privacy of each family member's incredibly closely, unless it's Meghan and Harry, of course, and almost always make a point to keep any medical condition totally private. The source says nothing. The palace never confirmed that Queen Elizabeth II suffered from bone cancer before her death, something former Prime Minister Boris Johnson later revealed in his 2024 memoir, Unleashed. It was extremely unusual that they disclosed Charles and Kate's cancer struggles in 2024. The source adds struggles. Let me see. I lost my place. Oh, yeah. The source adds, suggesting the information was released only to correct false rumors and stamp out a tidal wave of speculation. Now, marriage whispers. Still, the code of silence has fueled theories beyond Kate's health, including claims of marital strain. Social media has buzzed with speculation that the Waleses are quietly separated after video emerged showing George and Princess Charlotte arriving via helicopter to Kensington Palace. Brother Louis was not spotted, with what was one poster described as overnight bags. Okay. All right. So let me go and find the other page. There we go. All right. Okay, here we go. So early January, critics have claimed William is based in London, while Kate prefers their new Windsor forever home, Forest Lodge, 50 miles away. Defenders insist senior royals are often discouraged from traveling together for safety reasons. No matter how outlandish or harmful the whispers, the source says Kate will remain silent. She respects the firm no matter what and fully understands that the institution is bigger than her or any other individual. The source explained, the source explained the nickname given the monarchy, the firm. She fully buys into the traditional never complain, never explain motto. That philosophy may explain why, despite being unexpectedly open about her cancer journey after she finally confirmed it, including revealing that she'd struggled to adjust to a new normal. When she announced last January that she was in remission, Kate has never addressed speculations about her appearance, despite questions about her weight, and claims she wears wigs. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it. Not the wigs. Y'all get up off her with them wigs now. Um oh man. Revealing that she'd struggled the new normal. Oh, what did I leave off? Okay. Kate has never addressed speculation about her appearance, despite questions about her weight and claims she wears wigs, or her marriage, or moment fans dissect online, including instances where she'd appeared to flinch at William's touch, as when she swiftly snapped her body away from him during a BBC Christmas special in 2019. Behind palace gates, rumors about William's alleged infidelity with Rose Hanbury, the 41-year-old Marchioness of Cholmondeley, who lives with her 41-year-old, 65-year-old. How many years difference is that? I didn't know that man was 65. Damn. Anyway, 41-year-old Marchioness of Cholmondeley, who lives with her 65-year-old pensioner husband near Admiral Hall, have likewise never been acknowledged. The speculation dates back to nearly 7 years when the Sun reported about a mysterious falling out between Kate and her so-called rural rival. A journalist claimed on social media, "I know about the affair. Everyone knows about the affair, darling," before deleting the post and later claiming it was a joke. According to the Daily Beast, at least one British outlet later received a legal letter denying the claims and warning that speculation constituted a breach of future king's privacy. The future king's privacy. William, short fused, has always been well documented. He can be difficult. A senior royal household figure told Jobson in 2023's book, Our King Charles III, The Man and the Monarch Revealed, explaining that William is a driven person, which can make him impatient and short tempered. In 2022, Jobson wrote in William at 40, The Making of a Modern Monarch, that William has engaged in heated fights with Kate, adding that he can be a bit of a shouter when he loses it and experiences quite extreme mood swings, just as his late mother, Princess Diana, did. A strange brother, Prince Harry, opened his 2023 memoir, Spare, with a detailed account of Willie arriving at his home in 2019, piping hot and criticizing Harry's new wife, Meghan, as difficult, rude, and abrasive. William then allegedly physically attacked the Duke of Sussex, who refused to fight back, in the kitchen and knocked him to the floor so hard that Harry shattered a dog bowl, leaving his back covered in scrapes and bruises. Harry writes William stated, I didn't attack you, Harold. Star's source acknowledged William does. Next page, next page. Okay, let me grab the next page. Okay. William does have a fiery temper. It is well known he takes after his father in this way, not his mother, his father, putting the kids first. Despite the noise, William has been clear about one thing a child of divorce. He's adamant that he won't put his kids through one. You have to have that warmth, that feeling of safety, security, love, he told the reluctant traveler host Eugene Levy in October. Adding that for him, that atmosphere only lasted a short period of time before his parents split when he was 8. You take that and you learn from it and you try to make sure you don't do the same mistakes as your parents. He says, I just want to do what is best for my children. The source insists he's committed. William is unequivocal that he and Kate will work through hard times and stay together. Divorce is not and never will be an option. Now, you know that sounds quite ominous, doesn't it? So, aside from that, I think that's it. That's the whole article. Yep, that is the article. I like the way they end that with divorce is not an option. Now that sounds a little scary to me. That's like one of them things that somebody say just before they snatch your wig off. You know what I mean? That sounds like something somebody say just before they snatch your wig off, or worse. So, what have we learned? That Kate had a lump removed from the side of her head. They never said what kind of lump it was. And it seems that a lot of people uh, assume that this is a new scar, that this is something that wasn't there before. Now, I believe a lot of people have some scarring around you know, the brow bone and such. But that wound, that big thing that we saw at Christmas, is interesting that we never saw that before. And now you cannot not see it. There's no way you could just ignore it because it's huge. I mean, that looks like something that would knock you out cold. So whatever it is, it it definitely I mm, as I choose my words carefully, it definitely looks scary. It looks like what a lot of people believe it looks. That's what it looks like. It looks like all of the fears that people had for her. Let me see here. Okay. Lex says it's giving me lifetime vibes. No one would tell. Thank you very much for the super chat. How about I know what you did last winter? That's what it looks like to me. Remember that movie? I know what you did last summer. I know what you did last winter or a couple of winters ago. Ooh, 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 ooh. And what is this lump? What kind of lump? Was it a tumor? Was it scar tissue? She had a lump removed from the side of her head, just behind the hairline or whatever. But that that doesn't seem like it was true, because what they said was, scar tissue from a surgery. It looked like one of those hair extensions, the kind that you tape onto your, that's what it looks like. It does not look like a like scar tissue. It seemed like that was the way the palace was explaining what people were seeing in her hairline, or behind her hairline, within, within her hair itself, which, when you compare it to a certain type of hair extension, that's what it looks like. It looked like the tape from the hair extension covered with more hair. So, um, and also, if you're going to wear, especially a public figure like that, if you're going to wear wigs, it should not be clockable. They have, you know, say what you will about Beyonce wearing her wigs. I think I've seen one photo where you could really clock it. Well, and of course, given the size of her hair, it couldn't possibly, likely be natural, because she's wearing something very theatrical. She's on the stage. But you never clock the hairline or anything like that. I think there was just one where you could see, like, maybe how I think she had made a face or something like that. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can kind of see that it looked like something was, glued to her skin or whatever. But okay, fine. This ain't about Beyonce. I'm saying, how could something like that be expected to go unnoticed? And also, it is rather strange that the palace has not replied or responded or anything about what we've seen. So it just seems a bit um, questionable because of that. Yeah, like they were covering for her. That's what I'm saying. It seems like the response from the palace at the time was, and why would you even respond to something like that? You would respond to someone mentioning a looking like some kind of a adhesive um thing is in your head. Why would they even respond to something like that? But they won't respond to people asking about this huge scar on the side of her face. That's what you ought to respond to. They want to talk about that. But no matter how much gaslighting they do, we did not imagine that timetable. And the past couple of days, what I have been thinking about is that picture of Kate and her mother, or whoever that was in the car, and how swollen her face looked. Remember that? Her face looked swollen, and people were saying, well, maybe she had a facelift. But she was wearing dark glasses, and her mother was wearing no glasses. And her face seemed swollen. And because the royals are rarely photographed, it also seemed very strange that we would have a photo of Kate and her mother at all. How often do you see photos of them in a car? The only time that Kate is photographed leaving home is when she wants to be photographed. If you all recall, when Harry, his brother, Sophie, um, Edwina, when all of them went up to Balmoral after the Queen died, Kate did not go. Meghan was forbidden to attend. But there was an image of Kate driving to do the school run. And that photo was only shared to make sure that Kate was not left out of people's thoughts that day. They showed her wearing black and on the way to pick up the kids from school. That was deliberate. That was a deliberate way of saying that she had other responsibilities. Now, outside of that, how often are the royals photographed coming or going from their home? It is quite rare. That type of intimacy is rare. Yeah, that was before the new scar. Yeah, that was before the new scar. Well, all I can say, oh, good night. Good night, Mary H. No, let me see. Oh, yeah, that is you. Good night. What would happen to Prince William if he was charged with a serious crime? That was from February of 2024. That was from February of 2024. What would happen to William if he was charged with a serious crime? That article seemed to come right out of the blue. Almost like somebody knew something. I don't know. I don't know, but the past couple days, all I could think about is how puffy and swollen that is her face appeared. That's all I could think about. I'm gonna find that photo. God, that is so weird. That whole thing was just weird for no reason, for no logical reason. They were just being so weird about everything, so cloak and dagger, so mysterious. And if unless you have something to hide, why was everything so uh weird? Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. All right, let me try it again. Okay, couldn't bring that photo up. Let me try it again. Okay, I got one to zoom in closer. Not to worry. I got one that zooms in closer. You see what I mean? Look at how big her face is. It almost seems like it's another person. I mean, I know the photo is very grainy, but it just seemed like it was another person. And then, of course, what appears to be a fifth wheel, like there's five wheels on that car for some reason. That looks strange. I mean, it could be, I don't know what else that could be. But look at that. Look at that. Also, all right, let's go back here. You have a photo with a modern camera phone, I'm sure. Or let's say that it's a long range lens, possibly. With the angle that they are driving, you have more than enough opportunity to snap several photos. And like Legs was saying, were they using that one particular photo, this one, as a way to coerce something that they wanted? A way to force somebody's hand. Like there's more where that came from. Yes, a body double who no longer speaks. That one person who has that wonky looking face, wonky enough for her to look like Kate. She refuses to speak to anyone. She refuses to speak. No one has been able to get an interview out of this lady. After they identified her as a famous Kate imitator, then all of a sudden she just seemed to disappear. She ain't talking. And you can rest assured someone wanted to question her about the farmer's market. That's when she was really famous. And yet, no interviews. Carol was no fool. She met William at a pub to exchange George. She knows what they are doing to Harry and Meghan. They were smearing the Middletons the summer before the party pieces, trying to hide the band aids. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you for that, Legs. Well, at this point, anything is possible. Until we know better, anything is possible. And because think about it, isn't that an odd thing to just say, oh, well, they met at the pub. Who met at the pub? Carol and William in a nice public place. So that way, in case somebody's temper flare up, they would be less likely to do it in a public place. Ain't that why they do stuff like that? They would be less likely to fly off the handle in front of the public. That is something to think about. That is something to think about. It deserves consideration. Because otherwise, why would someone leak a story about Carol meeting William at a pub? That's just so random. It's random and unnecessary. But yet, but yet, that's exactly what was leaked for no apparent reason. But now, if you reconsider everything, maybe there was a good reason for it. Yeah, maybe there was a darn good reason for it. All in the name of being called queen consort. Not worth it. There comes a, oh, let me do this because it's moving. All right. There comes a time your self respect and life overrides titles for a firm that may not last. Well, respect her choice of self preservation. Yeah, we'll respect her choice of self preservation. I think the fifth wheel could be the tree behind the car. Looks at the shadow of the other tree behind them on the right. Dark area. Yeah, yeah, it could very well be that. But where's the royal protection? Shouldn't they be right behind them? I swear that looks like a wheel. It almost looks like two wheels. Yeah, it could very well be a tree. I'm only just thinking that to me the photo looks like it has been well, it don't look like it's been altered, but it could have been. All right. So we have this weird photo, right? Then there's the photo of Kate looking at the brick wall. The one person who just happens to take a random photo of them, something that rarely happens, Kate tilts her head to the left, and that tilted head looks just like a photo. It's the exact same angle of another photo with the hat on, a different photo. William could have very well have been in that SUV by himself, and then later on, that image of Kate carefully added to the SUV. Okay, that looks strange. And the whole farmers market thing. And I recall the farmers market, okay? The farmers market, they were at a public place during a period of Where's Kate Middleton. Nobody snapped a picture, right? And then that fast walk to the car. Kate, who is not supposed to be well at all, moving faster than Pierce Morgan running out of that television studio, nearly setting a new land speed record for a mammal on two legs. Okay? And the person who snaps the picture is a person with a skill set of photography or videography, and yet he snaps a picture that looked like it came from a first generation Motorola Razor. I mean, the picture was so grainy and useless. I mean, it was broad daylight. And the quality of that photo was, or video was very poor. And even the day before they released that video. Now, there's a no paparazzi policy amongst the tabloids as far as Will and Kate are concerned, right? But when they do have photos of them, it's usually something that is agreed upon by the palace. They reported that Kate had gone to some type of picnic or sports event with her children, right? That she had been out. And then the photo that they shared was an old photo of Kate holding Louis's hand and looks like she was running or skipping or something. And you had to go deep into the article to find out that that photo was not a recent photo, right? So that right there was misleading. And then I believe it was the next day that TMZ released that video. TMZ was gifted this video from the Sun per agreement that they would not distribute paparazzi stuff with the Welleses. So they purchased it, but they gave it to TMZ to share it because they did not want to go against their promise to not do those things, right? Only for the world to look at that video and say, that's not Kate Middleton. And of course, what was it, Grok or whatever the facial recognition that Christopher Bosey used, it said that that was a woman in her late 20s, possibly early 30s. And of course, we all know that Kate is in her early 40s. So that could not have been Kate. I mean, in my mind's eye, I can still see that face just as clear. I believe that's Kate. I believe that's a very swollen, puffy Kate wearing those Jackie O sunglasses. But what I don't get is why is the quality of the photo so poor? Why is it deliberately poor? You have 3 occasions that I can recall. You have the picture with her mom. You have the picture with her head turned away at the opportune moment when Kate would have been looking forward. She turns so that she can examine a brick wall that she must have driven by 1,000 times. But all of a sudden, that brick wall was a source of fascination. So there's a picture of Kate, but there's not a picture of Kate because we don't know if or when or where that photo was of her could have been taken, except it looks virtually identical to another photo. That is a lot of random opportunities to verify that Kate is alive. And yet, on 3 different occasions, they were not able to convincingly capture her image. One is too grainy, the other, the head is tilted away, and then the farmer's market is just a plain another person. And then after Kate became the butt of the joke, after Kate became the laughing stock of Western civilization, that's when we hear the cancer story, the precancerous cells. And in that particular video, there's yet another occasion where you have to wonder, is that Kate? Kate, who is well known to flub her words. In that particular video, she spoke like she was as eloquent as Sir Laurence Olivier quoting Hamlet. It was perfect, too perfect to be Kate. Does Kate read teleprompters? I've never seen Kate read a teleprompter, but yet we are to believe that Kate memorized all of those things she said sitting on that bench in perfect order. No hemming and hawing, no words were misunderstood. Everything was picture perfect. Impossible. Impossible. Even with a teleprompter, I do not believe that she is capable of giving a performance like that. And even with the photos or the still images of her on that bench, there were inconsistencies. The ring appearing to jump to another finger. Well, we all know that AI just does not understand human anatomy well enough to do it perfectly. And people always say, well, they're getting better. They ain't quite there yet. They ain't quite there yet. The grass doesn't move. The trees doesn't move. Her hair did not move. Nothing was moving. Just her mouth. Kind of reminds me of a Clutch Cargo cartoon. Remember Clutch Cargo? It reminds me of Clutch Cargo. So many things did not make sense. And then, of course, after the cancer video, then all of a sudden there was this big campaign from the tabloid media. Are you going to apologize? Now will you say you're sorry? Don't you regret saying this? That? It was overkill. They wanted to make sure that the rest of Western civilization, the rest of the free world, had as much deference toward Kate Middleton as the tabloid media does. They wanted to teach us a lesson over here, not to question things. The only reason why they rushed that video into production of Kate sitting on that bench is because Stephen Colbert brought so much more attention than anyone else, although there were other people. But Stephen Colbert was the biggest name to ask questions, to make a comment. And at that point, I believe that that is when they panicked. There were just too many things connected to Kate Middleton's disappearance. No confirmed sighting of Kate for 172 days. Not a single one. And no reasonable explanation to explain that. Kate leaves the hospital. There was never any indication that Kate was ever in the hospital. We never saw her mother go to the hospital, her brother, her sister, or her father. But yet there's Camilla, like the Jack in the Box. Camilla kept popping out that car just like a Jack in the Box. Camilla comes in the morning and back home. She changed her clothes. She comes back later. First thing in the morning, she's back over there. I mean, Camilla is the one who was drawing attention to the fact that nobody else was going. And then, of course, that's when Rebecca English, she rushes in with explanations. Well, royals, they don't always go and see one another in the hospital. Well, William, and then when people ask why William wasn't there, then she say William would move heaven and earth to support his wife. The Middleton family, everybody's stepping up to manage all of those things just could not be proven. And then the oddest thing is that she says that she just happened to be in the neighborhood for an appointment and her eyes were drawn to William, who just happened to be going by to go and see his wife. That's a lot of happens to. The only thing is, it's hard to believe that any of that was true. Rebecca English can modulate and adjust her articles and her tweets depending on what storyline they're following today. And the reason why you cannot believe her is because she has an answer for everything. Made up answers for everything. I sadly suspect she'll not pick her self-preservation and safety over Queen Consort. She waited too long and allegedly suffered DV just for the title. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks, G. Yeah, I mean, it's like a point of no return. And especially if you consider the way that other women that marry into that family have been treated. When you consider that, I think in the future, they will definitely find another Stepford wife as a consort. And that same type of mentality, that Stepford wife is going to know that you just do not step outside that circle. Because if you do, they're going to Meghan Sussex you. Or worse. Or worse. It's just very odd that the people who are praising and supporting Kate, those derangers as we call them, it's just so odd that they didn't seem to have enough concern to demand that she show herself. This story had gained so much traction. It was like, who shot JR? Big story. The most, um, the highest point of fame, should I say, that Kate Middleton will ever have, not for some initiative, not for saving someone's life or anything like that. It's only because she was missing. But the firm know what they're doing, and they shut it down with the cancer story. They shut it down with the cancer story, and the cancer story is the gift that keeps giving. The story, not the disease, the story, because it's a way out of everything and anything that is connected to Kate. She can have a good day or a bad day, depending how bad does she really want to go. I believe in Monopoly, they call it the get out of jail free card. She has her get out of jail free card, and they can never question her motives again. Although I suspect that most of the, shall we say, more established reporters, they know that a lot of that is just crap. And in an attempt to get Will and Kate to save the monarchy, they question Kate's ability to work. Because whatever she's feeling or not feeling, the press wants her out there. They're not making the type of money that they used to make. And it's guaranteed to be some kind of a payday if she just comes out the house. William and Kate Middleton's terrific rows and bizarre items they throw at each other. That also came out in 2024. The Prince and Princess of Wales have a very specific way of dealing with disagreements. During the course of their marriage, reveals a palace insider. And that was in the mirror. What are they trying to tell us? Oh, here we go. Kate hailed as iconic after driving herself to Windsor Castle. You mean to tell me Kate the Magnificent drove from one part of the Windsor estate to the other? I don't understand what's supposed to be impressive. Is it because her car didn't barrel through an intersection and break somebody's arm like Philip did that lady? Remember Philip broke that lady's arm? Is that why we're supposed to be impressed? Because she did not go airborne and roll a car over? I mean, she's a lot younger than Philip was at the time of the crash, so I wouldn't suspect that she would likely do that, like go push out into the road without stopping or looking left and right like Philip did. I won't even say she's capable of that. Kate draws a breath. Amazing. Kate walks. Wonderful. Thanks, Legs. Well, if you think that's something, check this out. Kate ties her hair back. That was a global story that Kate managed to tie her hair back. Now, what they say was so impressive is that she managed to do that without any type of, I guess, hair clips or anything like that. No ribbons, no barrettes, none of that stuff. However, I would think that if you were pulling on a synthetic hair or perhaps a purchased hair, you know what I'm saying? If you're using a hair extension to tie your hair, yeah, it'll probably stay together, right? I think hair extensions have a certain property that allows them to stick together or something. Maybe she stuffed it into the wig cap. You know what I mean? When she pulled that hair, she just took her finger and just tucked it inside of that wig cap, and that held it in place. Yeah, that's probably what it was. I mean, it looks kind of wiggy, doesn't it? Yep, that's all it was. She just took her finger and she stuffed it into that wig cap and it stayed easy. But yet, they made a big deal out of a 40 something year old woman able to tie her hair back seemingly unaided by any type of hair something. And oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say the infantilization makes her sound dim-witted. Yeah, that too. That's that too. It is because it is praise. It's like praising a child, which of course you are supposed to do that. But the tone of her praise, the tone that they take to praise her, is like that tone that you would use with a child, as opposed to an adult who, I mean, come on, why is that even news that she was able to tie her hair back? I don't understand why that's news. You're gonna love this. Catherine, not Kate. Have some damn respect if you want to be taken seriously. You're supposed to be a royal reporter, which means you know better and willfully chose to disrespect for clicks. Do get over yourself. You're pathetic. Fixation, a fixated, I mean, sorry, you pathetic, fixated snob. Snob? Laugh my butt off. What's the matter, royal reporter? Can't handle the truth? I'm an American, and even I know your title jabs are disrespectful. Shaking my head. And then Richard Palmer says, oh, well, American, shouldn't you be worrying about what's going on in your own country first? There's certainly enough to worry about. No, I'll take my cue from you Brits. You can't keep your nose out of our business, so why should we keep our noses out of yours? By the way, your Rome is burning. And Richard Palmer retorts, I thought you might be interested in our constitutional monarchy because of the current state of your country under a convicted felon as head of state. Many of your compatriots tell me they are embarrassed to be American. Wow. I tell you, Richard Palmer's got fangs, doesn't he? I mean, to tell you, that old queen gave her the what for, didn't he? My goodness. What a heated exchange. Well, you know what? Remember the little guy, the one that says, the one I met I say, hey, aren't you the royal super fan? Yes, I'm a royal supporter. The one that talks like a cartoon character. His name is John Laurie. Well, anyway, he gave Kate, excuse me, a little dry. He gave Kate flowers on Christmas, right? And Kate had that little exchange where she spoke to him about whatever. And then when she walked away from him, he said, Katie. No, he said Kathy. I think he called her Kathy. He said, Kathy, these flowers are for you. They're your flowers. Don't forget your flowers. He called her Kathy. And he is like, listen, everyone in the royal family knows this little weirdo. Everybody. And he felt so close to Catherine that he called her Kathy. Kathy, don't forget your flowers, Kathy. So I guess I'm saying that this lady should actually straighten him out, because if anybody has respect for the royals, it's him. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I myself was just like, that's kind of odd, calling her Kathy. Not Kate, not Katie, Kathy. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just about done, you guys. In case you didn't know it, the name Illinois is derived from the French language. There was a Native American tribe uh, known as the Illinois Confederation, and what is it? Illinois is what they call themselves. And the Illinois is how the French came up with Illinois. I guess they wanted to make it more French, and so they call it Illinois. Just remember, the S is silent. It's Illinois, not Illinois, just Illinois. And that's where the name comes from, is the Illinois. Yeah, Illinois. And Robert, let's see, Rene Robert Chevalier Sieur de la Salle, he is the one that gave the state its name. Yeah, because it was the Illinois Territory, which used to be a part of the Indiana Territory. And then Illinois became a territory of its own. And back in 1818, Illinois became a state. So, but the French were the first Europeans here. They were the first to visit the land. And then Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, who was a Black, Haitian, and French fur trader, was the first non-native person to settle in the area near the Chicago River and Lake Michigan, which, of course, makes him the first settler, the founder of the city, really. Just a little information for you. And then this is the last thing. You might be old if you ever, I want you guys to count and let me know how many of these you have done. Used a rotary phone, used a floppy disk, used a typewriter, taken photos with a film camera, listened to music on a CD, listened to a cassette tape, Listen to a vinyl record. Listen to music on a Walkman. Listen to music on a boombox outside. Watched a video from a VHS tape. Sent or received a fax. Recorded music from radio to cassette. Rented a video from Blockbusters, only to find out that they didn't have a porn section. Accessed the internet by dial-up, AOL. Used a phone book. Sent a postcard. Used a paper map to get somewhere. Owned a dictionary. Owned an encyclopedia. Paid with a paper check. Okay. I've done everything there. And I do mean everything. All of it. And let me see. The last time I wrote a check, which I still do have a checkbook. The last time I wrote a check, I want to say was, okay, it's been a couple of years. But yes, I still write checks and I still receive checks, handwritten checks. Sandra, you're only as old as you feel. Age ain't nothing but a number. La da 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 dee, la da 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 da. But yes, I remember my grandmother had that rotary phone. Actually, I'm trying to think. Somebody in the family had a rotary phone. It was a wall-mounted phone. Am I imagining this? But didn't they have rotary phones that would light up? The little rotary dial would light up. It had a backlight. And of course, the floppy disk with my old, oh my God, I'm trying to think. Was it a Texas Instrument computer? And a typewriter. I actually owned a typewriter before. Taken photos with a film camera, still got some. Listened to music on a CD, yes. The first time I went to London and Paris was 2007. And I had a CD player and I brought a few CDs to listen to. So no smartphones at that time, or at least they were in their infancy. Let me see, vinyl records. I still have records and a record player. And the cassette tapes, I saved all my cassette tapes, and I do own a Walkman. And I have at least 1, 2, 3 different devices around here where you can play cassette tapes. Yeah, I still have 3 ways to play cassette tapes. Let me see what else. Boombox outside, definitely. Watched a video from VHS very recently. Sent or received a fax, definitely. Recorded music from radio to cassette. Now, some boom boxes had an internal way to record the music from the radio to the cassette tape. Now, the trick was you call and ask them to play the song. And when they play it, you pray that they don't talk over the beginning or the end. And while you're waiting for it, you push the button. You push down record and play at the same time. And when you release it, that's when it starts to record. Has anybody else done that? And so you just pray and pray and pray that they don't talk over the music. Now, some DJs were better than others. They wouldn't talk over the music at all. But others, I mean, they halfway through the damn song and they still talking. Okay. Blockbusters, like I said, after you get the after you get your membership, you realize it's not like one of those ma and pop stores. Access the internet with the dial-up, absolutely. Use the phone book. Actually, I have used one. Let me see. I could tell you the last time I used the phone book. I'm going to say it was probably 2010. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I didn't trust calling movers from numbers randomly posted places. And I didn't trust looking online for a mover. I would only call from a Yellow Pages. And that was the last time that I called a mover. That was the last time I used the phone book, a Yellow Pages. Let me see. Sent a postcard. Absolutely. Used a paper map. Yeah. Several times recently. You know how when you go someplace and you grab that map? Yeah, I have. Let me see. Owned a dictionary? Sure. Encyclopedia Britannica. And paid with a check. The last time I did that was, oh gosh, that had to have been 20. Ooh. I want to say it was 2022. Yeah, I'm thinking it was 2022. Oh, let's see. You got to hit the button right before the disc jockey speaks or the radio jingle play. Yes, that's the radio jingle. You didn't want to hear that jingle either. You just want the song. Now, I have an alternative list here. Let me see if I see anything different here. Made a mixtape. Yes. I still own a Walkman. Learn cursive. Absolutely. I still write in cursive. Played Atari. Yes, I have. Had a MySpace account. I did. Ordered from Columbia House Records. Okay, you guys, they got me. I don't think I've ever ordered anything from Columbia House. They used to have those commercials. Uncurl the telephone cord. Yes, I've done that. Okay, so the only thing here that I have not done was ordered from Columbia House Records. I have not done that. And I used to love those commercials. And I'm trying to think, did I ever have anybody order anything for me? No. Remember K-Tel Records, Columbia House, K-Tel Records? Let me see. I'm surprised you had nothing about the 8-track tapes. I've played those before too. But no, they should have mentioned 8-track, but it is not here. And actually, I repaired an 8-track tape before. Um, my mother had a gospel tape, a Mahalia Jackson gospel tape. And one day I saw her, she was looking so sad. I said, "What's wrong, Mama?" She say, "My tape broke." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Just leave it. I'll see if I can fix it." And let me tell you, when my mama came home from work, I had taken that thing apart, took some scotch tape and put it on there and put it back together, and it was up and running. And just to make sure it never happened again, I made a cassette tape. So not only could she listen to it at home, she could listen to it in her car. Yep, I made a cassette tape. So that way there would always be an alternative way to listen to it. Thank you, Legs. Well, I'm trying to think, was there anything else? If you guys can think of something, just go ahead and throw it up there. Let me see. I had an Atari. Well, do you remember Blip? Anybody remember Blip? Where you just hit the thing, you know, back and oh, what about Simon? Remember the Simon game? Where you had to remember, what was it, green, red, yellow, blue, and you had to push those things in order. And I had an Evil Knievel action figure. You know, we used to call them dolls back then, but now you have to call them action figures. Well, um, let me see. When I was a kid, I guess they would say, "Oh, he's playing with his men." They would just call it the men. I had the Star Trek people. I had Space 1999. Um, I had a GI Joe. I had a Spider Man. I had a Thor, the old cartoon Thor. I don't think I ever had Iron Man. Pong. I want to say I played that before. Oh yeah, Hasbro. That's who made the Simon. Let me see. Parker Brothers made games, and so did what was the other game company? It was Parker Brothers and oh my god, it was like two different companies that mostly made the board games. Parker Brothers and oh my god, I can't remember the other one. Commercial jingle, Hershey Christmas. Light bright, making things with light. Fun things you can make with light bright. Light bright, making things with light. Would you believe me if I told you I have a light bright? I have that little miniature light bright. Thank you, Legs. I have the miniature light bright. You could practically put it in your pocket. like the Popio Pocket Fisherman. And of course, I had the Space 1999 walkie talkies. And I want to say that I had um, the phaser from Star Trek. Mm, what's that? You still have the Pac-Man that you can attach to. Oh, okay. Oh, very cool. And you know what? One of the squatties, purchased the Slinky off of my wish list. Anyway, I forgot who bought it, but thank you very much. What walks downstairs alone or in pairs and makes a slinkity sound? A spring, a magical spring. Everyone knows it's Slinky. A slinky, a slinky. It's for fun, it's a wonderful toy. A slinky, a slinky. It's fun for boys and for girls. It's fun for boys and for girls. Oh, I had the $6 million man. Remember, they had the little toy $6 million man, and it came with a bionic eye. What it was is you look through the back of his head, and you could look, and it looked straight through out of one of his eyes, so that you could pretend like you had bionic vision. Yep, I had the $6 million man. Oh my god, a pogo stick. I was always too heavy for a pogo stick. I beat and broke the shit out that thing. Yes, I had a Stretch Armstrong. I had to Stretch Armstrong. He was full of that goo or whatever. Let me see. Okay, Parker Brothers. What was the other? Let me see. Parker Brothers and the other company that made game boards. Milton Bradley. That was the other company. Okay. Parker Brothers, especially after they both became part of Hasbro, was the Milton Bradley Company, known for games like Candyland, The Game of Life, while Parker Brothers was famous for Monopoly, Clue, and Risk, with both brands eventually being merged under the Hasbro umbrella. See, I knew it was two big companies. Milton Bradley. Oh, Mattel. I think Mattel made Hot Wheels, right? Because the two big companies for those cars, it was Hot Wheels and Matchbox. And I always preferred Matchbox. I used to have the racetrack, of course, with the loop and everything. I had that little set. Oh, I had some nice toys. And I remember when I had my Star Trek lightsabers. Underoos. I had one. You had some underoos. Okay. Remember Geronimo's? Remember those clothes, Geronimo's, where it was easy to match the clothes? Just in case your parents are colorblind, all they had to do was match the animals and they could put a whole outfit together for you. Wow. I had some fun toys. Um, I never had a chemistry set. Never had that. I had the Lincoln Logs. Remember the Lincoln Logs? Yes, the candy cigarettes. You know, if you go to one of those specialty candy stores where they sell all those classic candies from back in the day, sometimes you can still find the candy cigarettes. Um, I think your best bet would probably be Chinatown, maybe. But yeah, you can still find the candy cigarettes if you go to a specialty candy store. Oh yeah, Twister. Yes, I played with the marbles. I played with the pickup sticks. I remember Hungry Hungry Hippos. Hungry Hungry Hippos. Yeah, remember the Hungry Hungry Hippos? I was a weird kid though. I don't care. I don't know. For some reason, I always checked to see if the dolls were anatomically correct. I always checked. You would think after checking so many times I would know better, but oh, I used to have a Winnebago. Do you guys remember the Winnebagos from Tonka Toys? I had the Winnebago, I had the dump truck, and you know what? That Winnebago, that thing was almost indestructible. Do you know I used to ride on top of that thing? Yep, I had the Winnebago. Oh, I still have a Rubik's Cube. Never learned how to work it. Oh, Sandra, you got to check. You got to check. I mean, I've pretty much given up, but I've pretty much given up, but I would probably still check if I had the opportunity. Oh, yes, the big wheel. Those things were noisy, weren't they? Those big wheels riding on top of that asphalt. My grandmother hated those things. I could never bring my big wheel over our house because she hated how much noise they made. The green machine. What is the green machine? That sounds familiar. What is the green machine toy? Oh, that. That. Okay. I see it. I had one of those. Yeah, you operated it with those levers. I guess it was called the green machine. By the way, you guys, I am very proud to say that for a long time, all Schwinn bicycles were made in Chicago, Illinois. I repeat, if you find an old Schwinn 10 speed or whatever, if you look at that label on the front, it will say Schwinn Company, Chicago, Illinois. If you have a bike that says that, you have a very old bike. Also, Chicago is the birthplace of the radio flyer wagon. Remember the red wagons? We all had one. Those were made in Chicago. Have you all been watching that new lady talk about the royal family? I forget her name, but she does like videos that are like 8 or 10 minutes long, and I cannot tell you how many of them I watch. She's really good. Oh, you talking about the car where you would you had your little legs pumping them pedals, them little metal cars. They kind of look like a Studebaker or something like that. I used to have one of those. It seemed like it took a lot of effort to make those things move, though, didn't it? And now these kids with their little fat asses got these electric. Now these kids got them little electric cars. They need to do some manual moving like we used to do. That's why they fat. We had to take them little legs and just be pumping them legs trying to get them things to move. Now all they do is push a button with their little chubby asses. uh huh. Now they just push a button. Yeah, I love those little cars though. I wish I still had one. It would be nice just to have one, for decorative reasons. Yep. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun. Oh, they are highly valuable nowadays. Those little kid metal cars. I used to love my Winnebago though. I had so much fun with that. That was when Winnebagos like were very, very popular. I don't know why they got popular all of a sudden, but I had one. Yeah, they're just kind of blurted out, but I just look at these kids nowadays. They got it made with a high cholesterol and pre-diabetes. They need to move like we did. They got cholesterol like a 50-year-old man. Well, I did too, except for my car was made out of steel. Our cars, when I had those kind of cars, it was made out of metal. And now those things are very valuable. Yep. Now, when I was a kid, sometimes they would make little goat carts, right? Those little go karts. And I know that sometimes people would take a shopping cart and they take the basket off of it, and then you just take that bottom part and ride all over creation with that thing. Oh, the Tonka truck, it dented my cousin's. Ooh. Ouch. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had the big yellow dump truck. Um, is that the same one? Now, I used to put my knee in the back of the yellow dump truck. I believe I used to put my knee in it and just go scooting down the street with it. And I'm pretty sure all of us have tried to make some kind of ramp so we could jump our bike like Evil Knievel. Yeah, me too. Mine was it was metal. It was virtually indestructible. It was virtually indestructible. Those old yellow Tonka dump trucks, you could not damage those things. You could stand on it. I think an adult person could stand on it and not break it. And I do think they still sell those. um, yeah, I'm looking for one of those classic metal cars. I see one here, but this is not an old one. This is kind of new. Now they got lights and horns and everything. I bet you this is plastic. I bet you it's not even metal, it's plastic. Oh, I'm looking at one now. Oh, somebody's selling one on eBay for $3.95. And here's one that's all rusty and everything, circa 1960. They're selling it for $396. Hell, I'm not feeling that nostalgic. Yeah, Legs, I think people that know, they buy them for their kids now. I want to show you guys an old Christmas photo. Oh, wait a minute. I done been on here for 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm gonna show y'all this Christmas photo and then I'm gonna go. I didn't realize I had been on here that long. Let me see. Yeah, I got an old Christmas photo I want to show you guys. And it's a picture of, I want to say it's my, oh, there it is right there. Perfect. Now, there's the Schwinn bicycle. And I believe this photo is from 1967, maybe. As you can see, there's the old metallic Christmas tree. Oh, there's one of those cars. There's one of those cars, one of those metal cars. Now, I think I would have been too young to enjoy this Christmas. I don't know. Well, let me see. I need to blow it up so I can see it a lot closer. Now, what's really interesting is that I was holding this picture one day. No, actually, I don't know how I got the picture, but it is definitely from my family. And I asked my aunt, what year was this? And I believe she said it was 1967. I don't have the picture handy, so I can't look at the back of it to tell you for sure. But as you can see, it's one of those metal cars. There's some type of Johnny Astro. There's a Johnny Astro game. And then there's something called Sound of Power or something like that. And then, of course, the clown, that's a punching bag. It's got sand at the bottom. When you punch it, it just bounces right back. There's a drum. That's weird you know what, that bike, I think it has gears because it's got brakes on the handlebars. And notice the bike has white wall tires, just like a car. And in the background, that looks like a 25-inch color television. I believe this was my other aunt's house because she had that. I remember she had the wooden windows. It's not my grandfather's house. I think this was my other aunt's house. Yeah. You know what? Let me see. I just may have that photo handy. I have like an old keepsake box nearby, and this would be a place where I would keep that photo. So let me look through here and see. But yeah, that is one of our family Christmases. Okay. Oh no, that's not it. Oh. I'm looking, you guys. Hopefully I can find it. I do have some old photos here, but I don't know if that's with it. Oh my God, Polaroids. And here's a picture of my mother with a blonde wig. She never did explain that to me. I think she was going through her Etta James phase. Huh. No, I do not have it handy, unfortunately. Because if I had it, I could look right on the back and tell you what year it was. Because I used to print those. Actually, um, they used to print them on the front too. Yeah, because I'm looking at one now, and it says, "Ooh, okay," and that's a picture of me. No, I take it back. They would have it on the front, but I think maybe I erased it off the photo. Maybe. Or it might be written on the back. Yeah, sorry, you guys. I don't see it. If it's not right here, I couldn't tell you where it is. But I do know I still have it. But isn't that a great picture? A little dart game. Oh, you mean with the blonde wig? Of course. Yeah. You know, back in the day, everybody had to experiment. Oh, the sit and spin. Yes, the sit and spin. Oh, you had that one too, huh? Do you guys remember that robot? That robot that would light up and walk a little bit? It was a little metal robot. I used to have that thing. It was kind of like a generic version of the robot from Lost in Space. Yeah, I do believe that that was 1967. I remember my aunt told me it was either 67 or 71. And the way she knew what it was that she looked at all the toys. And at this time, my aunt was like already over 80. And I asked her as a challenge because I had the date on the back of the photo. And I asked her what year it was, just as a little, oh, you know what? I put it down here. I put here's an old family Christmas circa 1968. Yeah, 1968. I believe it was 68. Something told me to check the the file to see if I put it down, and I did. 19. You look at there. I'm more efficient than I thought I was. I went digging all through that box when the year was already on the picture itself. The Easy Bake Oven for people who like to bake cakes with light bulbs. Yes. The lemon head that you put on your ankle. and jump over it? I don't remember that. Oh, well, good morning or good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, you had to use a 100 watt light bulb was what I used for my oven. Okay. Hey, wasn't it something like Play-Doh? You had the Play-Doh. Didn't they have something where you could squeeze the Play-Doh and make spaghetti and all that kind of stuff? Didn't they have something you would squeeze that Play-Doh? I used to love the Play-Doh because you could lay it on a newspaper and the picture would be on the Play-Doh. Remember that? Silly putty, that's it. Silly putty, not Play-Doh, silly putty. Thank you. Silly putty. Well, there was Play-Doh and silly putty. Well, folks, it has been so much fun taking this trip down memory lane. I think that car is a Chevrolet. I'm looking at the front of it. I believe it's a Chevrolet. Oh, look at that little telephone. See the little telephone? You pull it, right? Because it's got wheels on it. I remember those. Yeah, the little telephone, you could pull that because it's got little wheels on it. But why the hell were we pulling the phone? I remember that though. You could pull the phone, but I just don't remember why we were doing that. God, I wish I could see more stuff under that tree. We didn't have a metal tree in our house. This is my aunt's house. So um, we always thought that was weird that she had that kind of a tree. We didn't believe in it. We had the old fashioned green Christmas tree. It wasn't real. And I used to be afraid of those Christmas tree limbs. I used to be afraid of those things because they would scratch you and they look like claws to me. I didn't mind when the tree was put together, but remember, because in the old days you had the Christmas tree um, had the little holes drilled in the wood, and you would take those limbs and they were numbered, and you had to force them into those little wooden holes, and you had to do them in order so you can have the full tree. That was a crazy design. One of the best innovations was when they finally made the tree in like 2 or 3 pieces, cuz sticking those individual branches on, that was so time consuming. But we never had a real Christmas tree growing up. Oh, that's so cute. I used to have like a Tonka ambulance. I used to have a remember those paramedic and hospital shows were popular. I used to have a Tonka ambulance. It had the stretcher, it had the paramedics and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I remember I used to have a Tonka ambulance. And of course, the top opened so you could see, down into it. And don't forget, you're supposed to take that candy cane and then jam it down inside of a pickle. You got to take the candy cane and jam it down in that pickle, but you get those big candy canes for the pickles. Oh, my grandfather had a color wheel. Oh, no, I think this tree had it. I remember the color wheel because the color wheel would reflect on the metal and it would change different colors. I remember the color wheel. Yes, the old color wheel. Oh yeah, I used to love those trees with they were green and then they would spray like the white on the end of it like snow. But I remember we had bubble lights. Did you ever see the bubble lights? The you would have to put the light on the tree like a candle, and when the light bulbs inside of the um inside of the plastic thing would heat up, the bubbles, the fluid inside of the glass tube, which was shaped like a candle, would react and bubbles would form. I love those bubble lamps. I don't even know if you can buy those anymore. I wonder what was inside of those tubes that made them bubble. Let me see if they still have them. Bubble Christmas lights. Yes, they still have them. You can buy them from Walmart. Yes, they still got the bubble Christmas lights. I got to show you guys what I'm talking about here. I'm going to take a screenshot. I had no idea that they still sell these things. I thought that was just a thing of the past. They're certainly not LED. You couldn't do this with LED. LED would not work because they don't get hot enough. See there? Those are the bubble lights. Now they have to go up. So when you put them on the tree, you want to just kind of like put it next to the branch. When you clip it on, it clips sideways onto the branch. Well, the branch has to be to the side of that dark green at the bottom. And that's how you want to clamp it on so it'll sit up straight. And once they heat up, the tubes begin to bubble. It is so pretty. Yeah, when it heats up, the tubes of light start to bubble. There is really nothing else like it. Although I have a rule, and that rule is never mix LED lights with the other lights, the old fashioned lights. That just doesn't look right. Looks weird. There you go. Now they're expensive though, because you only get 7 lights for like $37. Yep, you only get 7 lights. Okay, folks, I am going to say good night to you all. I am having so much fun, but I am gonna say good night. It's been almost it's over 3.5 hours, so wasn't planning on that. Well, they didn't cost that much back then, and trust me, my mother purchased those after Christmas when they were on sale, and we saved them until the next year. My mother would never buy new stuff like, well, you know what? If the lights didn't work, we would have to go get some more. But I'm pretty sure that my mother saw those bubble lights on sale for half off or 75% off. And then we waited till the next year to, to put them on the tree. As soon as Christmas was over, and then, of course, there was a whole new round of shopping to get everything on sale. Which I just purchased some lights myself from Marshall's. Um, I just made a purchase of some after Christmas lights. And you know what else I got? Some Christmas crackers. I'm going to save those for next year because they're more expensive if you get the Christmas crackers that pop or snap. And so I didn't buy the snap ones for last year. But after Christmas, I found some. So we'll do those next time so we can have the more authentic Christmas crackers. I'm doing Christmas crackers um, as a way to celebrate the Sussexes because it's such a British thing. So since our Harry is over here, I'm gonna do Christmas crackers. Anyway, the ones that I got for last year were a big hit because they had teddy bears inside, little tiny teddy bears. And of course, you could hang those on a Christmas tree. Oh, yes, please do. Please do. Okay, everyone, love you guys. Cheers. I will see you all next time. Remember, this is the 10th year since Harry and Meghan first went on a date. 10 years since their first date. And I'm sure that the Sussexes have some really special stuff planned for this year. And I can't wait to see it. It's going to be exciting. But whatever it is, we're going to enjoy it together as a family. Because we are a family, like a giant tree, reaching up to the stars. We are a family. We are a family. Good night, everybody.